Today we are exploring two iconic abandoned houses. The first has been nicknamed the Chess House and features some unique architecture, and the second house belonged to a painter who passed away, leaving everything behind.
Alright, hold on.
Originally, this wasn't a house at all and actually a library for a tuberculosis hospital. This hospital had some really interesting history. It was named after a doctor who founded it. This doctor found out at a young age that he had tuberculosis. He had been in remission after vacationing in the mountains, and he believes that breathing in the constant fresh air had caused remission. So he thought of the idea of starting a TB hospital in the mountains that would give constant fresh air to patients. His motive had become even more personal when his wife of only 3 months died of the disease. What's up, guys? We're back exploring again today. We're at this really cool house. It's supposed to have a chess room. Later, the ornate hospital library had been sold and converted into a house. My favorite room is why this was nicknamed the Chess House, and that's because someone had moved all the statues throughout the house into this room with a checkered floor. Over the years, they have decayed more and are all crumbly, which adds to the strange ambiance of this home.
Sick. So dope.
This next room had an elegant chandelier that had been just barely attached to the ceiling. It is amazing the lack of vandalism at this location. Everything had been naturally decayed, and you can tell if it had been more trafficked, someone would have easily ripped the chandelier down. I'm trying my best here, guys. Our flashlight died, and I don't have any other lighting equipment. This is the top floor. The dome room was just another reason why this house was so unique. The ring of circle windows just below the dome make you feel like you're standing in a UFO. It was actually really hard to capture this because of the size, and I'm sure this must have been such a cool room to hang out in. In 1895, although the doctor was in remission for tuberculosis, he contracted pneumonia and died due to his weakened immune system. The next year, the TB hospital was built and formally dedicated to the doctor who lost his life pursuing a cure to his own disease. our second location on our trip today, we are going to explore a house that belonged to a painter. This house was built in 1920 and has been abandoned for some time. This house is falling apart. It's in really bad condition. Even in this condition, the house still holds so many personal items that give you almost a look at what this artist's life would have been like. This room was a time capsule, and you can see all the antique toys left preserved in time on a collapsing shelf. You have to wonder if there were kids living here, or are they remnants of the painter's childhood?
It's like a secret room.
It is. It's really cool too.
This bedroom was a really cool find because you would never find a bed like this nowadays, and you can tell it belonged to an old-fashioned family. So many of their personal belongings have been left behind, like this terrarium that they used to have all these taxidermy birds in before they were eventually stolen. Heading up to the attic, it was incredible to see the number of paintings that were stored here. Hundreds of paintings and frames stored on every shelf, and it was actually quite sad to think that someone's entire lifetime of work has just been forgotten in this dark attic. Based on the state of this house, I can't imagine it will stand for much longer. The foundation of this house has shifted, allowing the interior to be subject to the weather, and although this was just a small house, there was so much history hidden away. The painter's nook was my favorite part of the house. It still had all the brushes and supplies, as if the artist would be back to start his next project. The scene reminds me of the I Spy books I would read as a kid. We visited this house about 1 year ago since the release of this episode, and seeing recent photos, most of the items in this house had been stolen, which is very sad to see, and we are happy we got the chance to document this old house when we did. Thank you for watching, and hit that subscribe button for more exploring videos.